Welcome back to News 3 today at 11. With so many sights to see, summer is a great time to be a tourist in your own hometown, and Savannah's Green-Meldrim House is the best place to start. Jamie Cradle is the executive director of the museum. She joins us now with more. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to have you because we always learn so much about this historic museum. First off, though, while people are enjoying the lazy days of summer, it's anything but at the museum, right?
That's right. We're doing docent training. We've got 4 interns. We're doing some preservation work. So on the downtime when there are not a lot of people in Savannah, we're still doing what we need to do to take care of that old house.
Okay, so for folks who have never been or have not even heard of the Green-Meldrim House, tell us the history behind this institution.
Okay, so the house was completed around, almost completed around 1853. It was built for a cotton factor, a British national named Charles Green. Mm-hmm. And it was lived in originally by himself, his second wife, and their children from a previous marriage, and their 8 enslaved people. And during the time of the Green occupancy, the biggest thing that happened to the house was that it became the headquarters for William Sherman following the March to the Sea. So our big story is the American Civil War. And during that time, during the occupation, it's when Sherman wrote the telegram giving the city to Lincoln for Christmas. Mm-hmm. It was also the location for what is called the Savannah Colloquy, when 20 African-American preachers were asked by Sherman to come, and it was the first time in American history that African-Americans were asked, what do you want for your people? Yeah. And that's when the Special Field Order 15 happened, which we know as 40 acres and a mule. Mm-hmm. That plan was set forth, and of course what happened after that was Lincoln's assassination and those promises becoming moot. Following that, Charles Green didn't have a hard time after the war. He was still being profitable with cotton. But the house was sold from his family after his son over-speculated, and it became home to the Meldrim family and their 5 children. And so during the late 19th century, a progressive leader, I think he was involved, Judge Meldrim, with the founding of Savannah State. And then when Mrs. Meldrim died in her 90s, or when she was nearing the end of her life, the house was sold to St. John's Church, and it's been their parish house for 81 years.
Wow, wow.
And we're operated as a house museum, open 5 days a week. So that's it in a nutshell.
That's a lot to take in. So it's also a National Historic Landmark.
Right.
Let's talk about, it's been called a Gothic Revival gem.
Right. Well, if you look at it, it looks like those Gothic Revival houses of old in England with a crenellated roof. And it's got some interesting, I was about to say crazy ironwork that sort of sets it off. It's got arched windows. So architectural historians really like it because it's an interesting study in mid-19th century architecture and rather avant-garde for the time. It's got shutters that descend into the walls, windows that descend into the walls, high ceilings, tile floors, things that you don't always see even in fine houses in Savannah.
Yeah, so for the past 18 months, it's been operated by the Keepers of Historic Green-Meldrim House. Well, what's that about?
Well, we decided, not we, they hired me, so I work with the Keepers of Green-Meldrim House, that St. John's Church has a lot of good works to do, so we founded a nonprofit to manage the house, which has allowed us to be open more days. We are training people to give tours, so it allows us to get on a footing to serve the public.
Okay, so we have about 30 seconds left, but as if you didn't have enough going on during the summer, you're also planning for next year.
That's right. We've got a series of programs going on. We partner with the Savannah chapter of the Victorian Society in America to put on programs. We're putting on an October program that's kind of ghostly, literary Savannah. We're doing our Savannah Colloquy recognition in January. So what I would encourage people to do is to be a tourist in their own hometown this summer, but to go to our website if they want to see all of our programs, because we want to put together a slate that interests the Savannah community as well as visitors to Savannah.
Oh, wow. Thank you. Jamie Cradle, I always learn so much when you come here, and it's never enough time. If you'd like to learn more about the Green-Meldrim House, visit our website, wsav.com/Green-Meldrim. Thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, Kim.
Stay with us. We'll be right back.